While the world ripped itself apart, one of the greatest crimes against humanity was being carried out with ruthless efficiency across Europe. It would leave the moral authority of the Christian Church yet further compromised and expose a deep flaw in Christianity's historic relationship with the Jews. This is Auschwitz-Birkenau in Poland, the largest of Hitler's extermination camps. It's a cemetery of 1.5 million people without graves. Poles, Romanis, homosexuals, disabled, but overwhelmingly Jews. 7 out of every 10 Jews in Europe perished in camps like this. It was a crime the Christian churches failed to resist.
Average life expectancy in the camp for men was about 5-6 months, for women about 3-4 months.
Well, it's a grim place. Tell me how many people would be in here?
Well, the SS planned that about 700 prisoners will stay in one barrack like this.
Oh.
If there were too many for the bunks, the prisoners simply stayed on the floor.
Yeah. This place is an offence against the Christian gospel. I mean, it's an offence at an obvious level. It offends against mercy, pity, truth, and love. But at a more profound Christian level, it offends against the fact that Christianity is a story about a person who is both human and divine. This place was designed to rob human beings of their personality, to make them less than human. It will not do to say that the Nazis were anti-Christian. It won't even do to say that Jews died for racial reasons, not because of their religion. The Nazis were able to do their evil, destructive work because they were so good at playing on myths, the myths which lurk in people's minds. And this myth was that the Jews were the killers of Christ, the enemies of Christian civilization. In that sense, Christianity is implicated fatally in the murder of the Jews.
It's hard for me, as heir to a thoughtful, tolerant Christianity in England, to face up to this. I know that many Christians will disagree with me and find this conclusion offensive. But here I stand. I can do no other. In the years after the war, I was a little boy growing up in Suffolk. I knew little of the challenges facing Christianity. In the 1950s, church attendance actually increased in a chastened, frightened Europe. But that mood passed. The horrors of the first half of the 20th century had raised the old question Voltaire had posed in response to the Lisbon earthquake. In Auschwitz, where was a loving God? Europe was sickened by any system which made absolute claims to truth. Communism, fascism, Christianity. So it was hardly surprising that in the second half of the century, an unprecedented, almost frivolous mood confronted European Christianity. Religious indifference, apathy. Social changes brought about a more relaxed attitude to sex and marriage, movement between social classes, and more individual choice. In the face of that, fewer people chose to spend Sunday in church.